shot out, and at the
That was
shot out,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, somebody was declared winner.
Now the question is this. Don't forget, when we started this program, I took you on a journey. I said, when we started this democracy in 1999, one person can be equal to 300 votes or 1,000 votes. You write all the cards, take it.
Even then, people were voting.
Yes, and put it in his house.
Those were coming back from the dead to vote.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So we have gotten to a point now where that's not possible, because BVAMOS is a biometric accreditation system. It's not possible now. Okay, so if we begin consensus and real primary system of voting now, maybe this will make INEC now begin to implement some of its provisions. I listened to Justice Salami, one of his interviews. He said that in the last election, that Peter Obi and Atiku were not supposed to be cleared to contest election. They were talking about technicality of the law, that you people use technicality of the law to free those who steal public funds and distort our electoral process. He now said no. He said, we don't come into space as judges to come and talk, because that's not our call. If you ask us questions, maybe a question like this will provide insight into it. He said, in that election, they were not supposed to contest. And I said, why? I read for that. He said, the law says that maybe 150 days before election is held, all political parties ought to submit their membership register before the party primary to INEC. He said Peter Obi and Atiku, after the contest of primary election with either PDP or APC, they left and joined Labour Party before Peter Obi could get the ticket. He said he joined Labour Party. It was not even up to 2 months that he became the candidate of that party, when the political party must have submitted his register to INEC. He said, can you say that kind of a person is a member of that political party? He said, but looking at the mood of the nation that time, okay, and looking at what was happening, we just need to allow it to go. He said, so the technicality of the law at times could be applied in line with the major reason why law is in place, to protect peace and harmony. Okay, so he was trying to explain. So in this case too, when this electoral act was passed, I looked at it and said, okay, the intention from what I've said there is to as much as possible fight money politics. So I agree. That's very good. Now the party should go further and tell INEC in the same electoral act that, look, going further from now, it may not be this election. In the next 4 years, all political parties must digitalize their party register.
They have done that.
But
it's not online.
Now, yes, if it is online, okay, then there must be a kind of the way the database, the database must be ready and must be credible and must be linked in such a way to maybe national database, so that they can, so that one person did not belong to 2, 3, 4, 5 political parties. So when this cleanup is done, then when party now wants to hold this primary election, they should make it a kind of e-voting, so that all members can choose who they think can flag the fly of the, and INEC should supervise it, because it's now going to be e-voting, so that there will be a kind of, serious and very engaging process of leadership selection. If we put this into place, then good people will express ambition. Somebody like me now, you cannot say want to go to House of Rep. I toil.
You want to become president.
I can't even waste my 1 million on anything because it's so difficult to get money.
How do you give that?
You understand? I struggle to eat a banana. If you look at me now, you will know that this is an extremely poor man. So I struggle. I struggle. What do you say?
Like Ginegi.
But in the Nigerian context, do you know you are a rich man?
You are a rich man, man.
In the Nigerian context, you have more than one car, you have a house. In the Nigerian context, you are a rich man.
Do you know whether you
don't even belong to the middle class.
Do you know whether I've not even finished paying the loan on the vehicle?
And then you are friends to big people.
But
to big people. I saw your picture with the Minister of Youth Development.
And even an honorable. Okay, you are not
Honorable Minister of Nigeria.
Okay, you have not seen my picture with that of Honorable Minister of Interior.
I see it.
Oh, you see that? We have seen you.
I am close to hear that you are. So
yes.
So Olushola, okay.
No,
these are big people.
These
are big people.
And Senator Adekpomire too.
Yeah. So we know that unlike the poor Nigerians, you are a rich man.
You are a rich man. So let's go to the
one of our reporters is on the line. Hello, Sheung.
Thank God. Thank God for life.
Hello, Sheung.
Thank God for life.
Okay, we are back with you now. All right, Sheung.
Right now, I have distinguished senator Ayo Arishe with me.
Okay, Senator Ayo Arishe, good afternoon, distinguished senator. All right, Senator, you vote in Noye, you're from Oye local government, and quickly let us know, what can you tell us about the processes so far? All right, Senator Arishi, if you look at the list of registered voters, your local government is number 4, but we know that, oftentimes the number of registered voters does not always translate to vote cast. What can you tell us from the report that you've had so far? What can you tell us about the turnout of voters in this particular election in your local government, particularly in your town or EKITI? All right, thank you very much, distinguished Senator Ayuarishe. Thank you for your time. Yeah. All right, that was Senator Ayuarishe, who represented EKITI North between 2007 and 2011. All right, we're talking about Mr. Rotimi Ogle. You were talking about
yes, I'm discussing the gap in our democracy. When you have a process and the process is not defined in such a way that it will guarantee not just any entry into the contest space. The law may permit you to express your ambition, but not to the extent that you get on stage and then begin to tell people this is what I can do or whatever. Anybody can say I want to be president in America, but not everybody can get to the stage.
yes,
Because the system has so streamlined it in such a way that you can be a clown at some level, but not on the stage.
not everybody gets that
Yes,
publicity.
But in our own case, we can be a clown even up to the stage. That is what the process receives. And how can we achieve that? Because we have fledgling democracy, I still call it. It's not difficult if we make our electoral law to say that, okay, before anybody, let political party even incorporate this into their procedure. Before you can say you want to be a governor in any political party, the political party should have a technical department. This technical department in all the states, maybe if you're a member and you are a governorship OFU, or you are a senatorial OFU, or any national assembly, or whatever, you should be able to participate in the technical session. It must be mandatory. In 4 years or 3 years, in any of these 3 years, technical session, you must be able to participate in 2. Come on,
Like in the days of Awolowo, where there was something called shadow government,
yes.
where they will have something like a replica of the people in government.
Yes.
They have shadow minister for information,
Yes.
shadow minister for agriculture.
That's what I'm saying.
So they were prepared.
Yeah.
And that was why it was very easy for them to hit the ground running.
Yes.
Unlike now,
You
where
come-
people for
yes.
3 years may still be trying to find their footing.
Yes, you come to the table, the party should have that technical department in place. You discuss. From there, they begin to spot their good hands. They see them. So any of these good hands can now say, I want to be governor tomorrow. By participating in that, you must have paid your dues. You must have been known. The party will know what your ideas are. Then fine-tune it, polish it, recook it on that table, and it becomes part of the manifesto of the party. So it means that those who are going to represent the party, be their flag bearer, they are contributors to that particular manifesto. They are part of the people that author whether verbally of that book. So when they now want to come to the stage, you will no longer be a clown. You'll be one of the persons that actually come to the stage. Because when you say you want to contest, the leaders will know who is talking. Just like my friend will say, when I fall down, people may not know me, but when I stand up, my friends and people will know me. So when you say you want to contest, then the leaders will know that this is what this person represents. But there is no avenue for anybody who is contesting to have conversation with the party, to have conversation with the leader. This particular stakeholder conversation does not exist. That's why either direct primary or consensus. That's why it may not work for now. So going further, to give flesh to this particular provision, leaders, political party must do this we are discussing here.
All right, Alani is now on the phone.
Hello, Alani.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Ọ̀yá báwo ló ṣe ń lọ níbi tí ó wà?
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ní wàhálà kọ̀ọ̀kan gbogbo ní àkókò yìí. Mo ti dé ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ìrẹ̀lẹ̀. Mo lè ti yí káàkiri àwọn agbègbè kọ̀ọ̀kan àti àwọn yúnìtì. Nǹkan tá a rí náà ni pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ ní pàtó ilẹ̀ oríṣi àti òkè èkó pẹ̀lú orin àti àwọn àgbègbè owó ti fún lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé àwọn èèyàn jáde dáadáa. Ó dàbí ni pé agbègbè rẹ̀ lè ń bì í tó máa bàjẹ́ ju àwọn obìnrin lọ. Orí ní ibi báyìí, a rí àwọn ojúkò ìdìbò nígbà tí kí máa dárúkọ oúnjẹ pọ̀. Ó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n ní àwọn ní tó ẹ̀ka bíi súnmọ́ igba àwọn ènìyàn tó forúkọ sílẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó yẹ pé èèyàn mẹ́wàá tó wá dìbò làwọn tí èyí rí kà ìyẹn àwọn àjọ elétò ìdìbò nǹkan tó mú káwọn òṣìṣẹ́ elétò ìdìbò gan káwọn pé wọ́n máa àwọn míì tó ti fẹ́ máa dàbí ìbínú fún wọn pé àkílódé àwọn ti pariwo àwọn èèyàn tún jáde ilé sọ fún wọn mo ní ṣé wọn ò sọ fún àwọn tó wá dìbò yẹn pé kó máa pe àwọn èèyàn wọn ni wọ́n ní àwọn ti gbìyànjú sọ fún wọn ṣùgbọ́n orí bákan náà ni bí ìbò míì báyìí kéèyàn bíi 800 plus ó forúkọ sílẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùdìbò ó jẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn ló máa dìbò bẹ́ẹ̀ ibi tí a ti rí èèyàn bíi 500 tó forúkọ sílẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùdìbò ó jẹ́ èèyàn mẹ́sàn-án èèyàn márùn-ún lọ́ sì rí látàárọ̀ láti wá dìbò bẹ́ẹ̀. mo wá gbìyànjú àti bá àwọn aráàlú sọ̀rọ̀ pé kí ni nǹkan tó gbà á àwọn kan sọ wípé àárọ̀ yìí ni àwọn àyànkọ́ṣẹ́ wa ń bá wọn nínú ilé pé àbóyẹ wá dìbò àwọn ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ bóyá sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ làwọn fẹ́ dìbò fún o bóyá gómìnà làwọn fẹ́ dìbò ní o bóyá bàbá fẹ́mi làwọn fẹ́ dì ní.
wọn mọ rúbò tán fẹ́ dì gan.
àwọn ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n kàn sáà sí àwọn jáde tó yẹ wá lọ dìbò ìyẹn láwọn péréje tó yẹ pé mo bá ní ojúkòrò dìbò lẹ̀ tí mo bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní o àwọn tí mo lè bá sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin ìlú náà wọ́n làwọn ò gbọ́ àwọn ò gbọ́ pé ìgbésẹ̀ kan fẹ́ wáyé lápá àgbéká wáyé àwọn èèyàn jáde dìbò rárá tó wọ́n lè lọ síbi iṣẹ́ wọn wọ́n ṣe ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọ́n ṣe olókàdá ṣe tiẹ̀ gbogbo wọn ṣe láì ẹnìbọdì tó yẹ ẹnìbọdì lọ́wọ́ so ṣùgbọ́n ojúkòrò dìbò yẹn ó kú yẹ gan ó kú yẹ àlè kankan kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
ọ̀dà ó ṣeun Adégbóyèga Àlàní.
Thank you, Alani. Like in the days of Noah, people were getting married, giving out their children, their daughters, and in marriage. People just do what? Okay, in Ondo South, according to statistics from INEC, there are 673,444 registered voters in the 6 local governments in Ondo South. I'm just scared, and that at the end of today, we may not have up to 60,000 people who vote in this election, who get to decide who becomes the next senator for that senatorial district.
Yes. Does it worry you that
it bothers me that a position that is representative,
that is important as that of the Senate.
yes, that the people don't see that this is the man who will be deciding for you till the next election. I mean, till the next to the end of this current session of the National Assembly. That's just my worry.
It's a problem that we've been carrying over the years, and that's why I said democracy does not punish politicians appropriately. Okay, because the people do not, up to now, understand what democracy is. This is my conclusion. They don't know that. Okay, I was somebody tinkered with the idea of having a 6-year single term. Yes, I was an avid supporter of that proposal because I felt politics has been a distraction for people in government. You win election the very first time.
Does that not have its own downside?
Yes. So the second year, you begin conversation that you want to run for 4 years because the time is not there. Because by the time it's third year, you must start politics. So politics takes like 60% of the first 4 years. That okay, if it is 6 years, that okay, you will not be distracted. Once you are voted in, you begin to work.
But there are attendant downsides with that one.
But
what if you are not a politician who is ready to do anything and you say, oh, I have only one single term. Let me just enjoy myself. That's 6 years.
Yes, let me just do whatever I need to do. Let me just become another Hitler. So you have 6 years to deal with that problem.
To take the people back into the past.
And what must have been done for 6 years, it may take 60 years to undo it. Now, I agree. And you see, that's why I said we need to weigh our options. So it means that if we are retaining 4 years, then we must look at what makes democracy robust. President Barack Obama said democracy could be boring. At times along the line, it could be seen to be inefficient because it will accommodate shades of opinions that you need to process in a combustible manner that you may not even find it easy to suppress. But is that at the end of the day, you don't get all in democracy. You win some, you lose some.
Yes.
I quite agree with him. What I'm saying here is this. We may not get all at a go, but we can begin a conversation that will take us there. Can we start from telling political parties now to making laws that will make it compulsory for them to, one, have a kind of technical department or technical session where issue of governance, leadership, political participation,
policy formulation
will be the topic, and that whosoever that wants to lead, either a state chairman, local government chairman, local government, either party or elected, that is going for elected positions, okay, must come and participate in that process. In fact, they must have position papers. They must participate in the discussion session that will lead to policy and manifesto of the party. Not that after you become a candidate, they will now go and sit down and form a parliamentary drafting committee and they now begin to say this is a working document that at the end of the day will be different from what will be implemented in
some may not even have, some does not even, there are some who do not even have manifestos even after they are
you are talking.
I watched a particular interview of a presidential candidate in the January presidential election, and it was being asked by Rufa Hosseini on a podcast. What do you want to do? He said, just don't look at just look at the person who is promising you. So what kind of
delivery is that?
You see,
don't look at. Okay, you are saying you want within 4 years you want to give us 11,000 or 12,000 megawatts of electricity. So you will know. I'm not, and I don't work with BEDC, and I'm not. But I understand that you need a lot of infrastructure to put this in place. Many of the places where you want to put these megawatts, the infrastructure, the infrastructure is gone already. For instance, there was a time we're talking about Ondo South where many of the electric poles, the cables were already carted away. And not just in Ondo South, there are places like that all over the country. So you need to put a lot of infrastructure in place, and this will cost you a lot of money. So if you say you're giving us 12,000 megawatts within 4 years, and we say, how, Mr. Presidential Candidate, how do you want to say, oh, don't look at what I'm saying, just look at the person who is making the promise. Just look at me. How do you want us to believe you?
The person talking may not even know that generation may not be the problem for now.
That may be distribution.
Storage and distribution.
Yes.
Because you can't store energy and begin to generate and store it. Is not possible.
Yes.
As you are generating, you must have.
You have to distribute.
Yes.
And just sorry, by Gilly, the Gencos are on their own. There's the transmission company. Yes. That's a separate entity. Yes. There's the discos.
Yes.
These are, and there are laws in place. There are laws in place that sometimes could even serve as bottlenecks in trying to achieve this. Yes. And you are not talking about all of this. You're just saying, just look at me. Look at me. I'm the one making the promise. Just believe me. And, Nigerians continue to make this mistake every election cycle. They will still go ahead and vote for somebody like that.
Let me tell you. You see, let's go back again to at least for the past 20 years. When we have UPN, when you have GLPP, when you have MPN and so on like that, they have their own programs. Like Awolowo will tell you that he will exhibit free education, free health, integration of rural areas, and gainful employment, and which they did successfully. And they
had a lot of planning. They had a lot of research.
Even 20
they had a lot of research. They had a lot of planning.
Then number two, they have their own political ideology. Now there's no political ideology within any party. No political ideology. You don't have it. Unless the SCP. We don't even hear about SCP now. Established, registered by Baba Galvani. We don't even have it. In a situation where this is just come out, they have their process. What is their program? What is their ideology? What do you want to do for us? Nothing. Imagine, you will generate 11, what do you call it? Something just 4 years. Look at me, you are not God. You look at me, I'm not telling lies. You are a blooming liar. I will say like that.
Okay, I have this here now. I think Patience Olusegun who is covering election in Ondo South, sent this in more than an hour ago. I think she spoke with the candidate of the APC in the by-election, professor, not a doctor, Professor Dao Fadrile, a pathologist, I think, trying to appeal to the people to come out, saying that the election is just as important as every other election. But for me, I say this is it's like crying when the head is gone. It's too late to cry when the head is cut off already. Because he is a candidate in this election. You have tried to defend him, that child, but did he do enough? Telling the people on the day of election that this election is important. This election is important. Is that not too late? People are already on their farm. People are already in their shops. People are already going around in their
Don't forget that.
Can you do that?
Don't forget that as human is equally limited in terms of space he can cover. This is the truth here. Yes.
He has the whole gamut of the APC, which you members just a moment, okay. Which you members refer to as the largest political party in Africa. He has that whole gamut behind him.
Okay, now this is it. I've told you that. But it's okay. It's not about me here now. I've told you the way APC or political party, the way they organize and run their campaign. The moment you become candidate of the party, the campaign structure will be set up. The campaign structure was set up. They began mobilization, and the mobilization dovetailed into grand finale rally, which was held. That has been the tradition. If you are talking about political socialization, I said all of us should be involved. The media, the professionals, national relations agencies.
Adaba FM did his own part.
Yes.
We mentioned it. We talked about it.
Yes, I'm not doubting that. It's so enough. We must do more. What we are seeing on the field does not mean absence of action. It could suggest that more actions need to be taken. I agree. But, well, there's no point, speaking over is or I'm already.
Who do you think should take the blame in all of this?
Well, I'm not.
Political parties, INEC, National Orientation Agency.
I think I'm not good at apportioning
all
blame.
stakeholders.
I'm not good at apportioning blame. I look at the process and I speak to the gaps in the process. One of the gaps in the process is this. Number one, okay, we should give. We don't have stable election timetable on when the election will be held. So the date for this election, by the time the notice was served, was not.
Unlike in the US, where you know when the presidential election will be conducted, you know every election cycle.
Yes, the moment Senator Jimoh Ibrahim resigns, based on new appointments, INEC should have a broad-based advertising platform. Okay, this is done. It's going to be held the same day. Then there could be a kind of throughput advantage. When you are producing materials for this, you produce for that, so that you come handy.
There are by-elections going on in 6 states.
Yes,
not just in all those states.
Yes, what they should have announced is that all the by-elections will be held with so election. You understand? They should be clear about it. If they have been clear about it, they will now mandate political party that look from so and so, you must be doing this, and there must be evidence that will come back. So what I'm saying is we should retool our procedures, retool our processes to accommodate compulsory political socialization and conscientization.
The issue is this.
Our process.
The issue is this. Efficiency is lying carelessly at the premises of all political parties.
Yes.
You don't need anybody I need to mobilize you.
That's who we are. I'm coming. That's who we are for now.
I'm coming. You don't need that.
You don't force a toddler to begin to.
They are putting
to run.
You don't do that. You don't force a toddler to begin to.
They have been putting on notice more than 2 months ago that this election is going to be held.
No, not up to 2 months.
What about a month?
Yes. More than a month.
Even 15 days, sir. If you're a serious party,
it takes money and physical movement.
This is what you have been saying. That is you don't have money to mobilize. That's the problem. That is what I wanted to hear from you since all these days, all these hours.
I never mentioned money. You cannot say APC does not have money.
Okay.
To mobilize.
No, the truth is this.
Now let me tell you. You now woke up this morning. you are doing the grassroots mobilization to the.
On the day of
I
election.
mean,
But you know,
All
but you know,
parties,
but you know,
all parties.
Mr. Rotimi
All
Ogle, I don't know if
parties.
you remember, there was a time,
all parties.
a by-election, God rest the soul of Expensive, you know, when he died, and there was a by-election for Akure North, Akure South.
Yes.
That was well publicized.
Yeah.
I remember there were even radio stations who had debates for the candidates at the time. That was when Jav, the candidate, was it Jav? What was that guy's name? Or was it Lav or the candidate of the the candidate of the APC?
And Kubana.
And Kubana, the candidate of PDP at the time, it was well publicized, and they had little time too. So
mobilized.
what makes this one different?
Now let me maybe
Or was it the fact that
maybe
was in the state capital compared to Ondo South?
maybe I should say this. That particular election you talked about, the turnout was still very, very poor.
But then the publicity
publicity,
was
yes, it's
very
was
okay.
What is the essence of publicity? The turnout was poor.
But then when you don't have publicity, you don't have turnout. You don't even have awareness.
You had publicity in that and awareness. The turnout yet poor.
Well, every other
Wasn't
person,
poor.
almost every person in Akure at that time, in
Wasn't
Akure
poor.
knew that there was going to be an election.
Yes, I said that you can Google it.
We were put on notice.
Now,
that
now,
election-
now, what I'm saying is this. See, the major reason why you keep having low turnout in our election is because of this pensive mood that is a direct product of inadequate socialization when it comes to politics and democracy. What is the major reason why this election is held? Why should I go out to vote? Why must I vote for this person? That particular gap is there. That is the reason that drives this low turnout all the time. That's what I'm saying. That is the issue we must address. I was saying something here the other time. If people begin to see that the process of conducting election is laced with another foolproof process that will make the result credible, okay, you begin to see good people coming out to run an election. You see the participation will be very robust. Okay, I said people still have this mundane belief that I don't go and vote. They know the person who win already.
It's the function of politicians to educate them.
Well,
Tell them that this election is as important.
But
as
let me ask you a question.
This is what you are saying. This is
I
my
agree with
argument.
you, but could it also be the fact that, you know, politicians have continued to, should I say, political office holders have continued to fail people over time, and then the people became, I don't want to use the word hopeless, or they faithless. They lost faith in the system. Could that also be the cause of the apathy that we usually witness, experience in Nigeria elections?
thank you very much. You see, politics is a game of action and reactions.
Yes. But not just politics, it's everything in life.
Yes. I listened to one.
That's the third law of motion.
Yeah, I listened to one senator from your state and from Barrister Ogile State sometimes ago.
Where's my state?
That,
Just continue.
that senator said that politicians are just like you and I. When you ask me what I cannot provide, I will give you the promise I cannot keep.
Yes,
Right?
that's true.
When I'm running an election, I will
For
pay
House of Rep,
for Senate.
you're asking me to come and construct your road.
Yes. Yeah, and that is the only that's your demand coming to me. And I could see that this is the entire community, maybe about 50 or 60 of you. You say this is our promise us that this road, if you
Okay, to back to relay.
you help us do it.
Okay, sir.
As a
You
senator.
understand? Then if I'm modest, I will say, well, you know I'm going to the Senate. I can assure you that this road, I will use my influence to make sure that it is tied.
But if you are not modest,
You understand? If I'm not modest, you say,
I will
we can always speak to government to touch. This is the problem. We'll do it. Don't worry.
that will be my first project.
You
When I get there.
Are you getting it? Now, it is because there is no understanding among the electorate that it is not the duty of House of Rep member or a senator to go and be turning rules. All he needs to
It's
do.
not even their duty to give our rights.
Yes.
During
don't
the
begin
festive
to buy
period.
machine. Yes. So our priorities are wrong. That's fuel the demand we make on our leaders. So the way both House of Rep member or Senate, the way they have been appraised today is one, how much of your presence they can get, and how much of appearance you make as social function. And they call you, they make some personal demands, and you're able to meet it within the political circle.
You send cows for burials, for weddings.
That's the way you are appraised. Your performance is appraised. Nobody wants to see one Senator Adebomire who facilitated project of over 800 million naira, building of classrooms, e-library, staff quarters, staff room in just one school, one community school. Nobody cares about that. Nobody is looking at whether you give transformers to communities. They don't matter anymore. They don't matter whether you have facilitated procedure that led to innovation and complete building of health centers.
Like Adogure help
yes. So nobody is talking about that anymore. So why is that thing fisting away from our politics? That kind of development discussion, that kind of discussion that will spur a kind of interest in making you to look at that particular candidate and say, oh, let's do it again, so that you can do A, B, C, D. So that kind of discussion don't reign supreme in our political system anymore.
How do we get here? I remember there was a time in EKITI State, and some people have accused EKITI State as being as the genesis of stomach infrastructure. That was where it was all introduced into the Nigerian political lexicon.
Your people introduced it.
Don't say your people.
No, our government.
Let me pose my question.
No, you haven't make it state. Your government
on this program, please let me just pose my question.
Our government introduced it.
Right, okay, just a minute. So, like they said that the term stomach infrastructure was first introduced into the Nigerian political lexicon from EKITI State, and that other states thought that it was effective. Instead of building roads, instead of building infrastructure, you just tie your roads in people's stomach. You build the bridge in their stomach. You build you do the free education in their stomach, and that they work for a particular governor, former governor in the state. So that other politicians, other governors saw this, that it was okay. Why not let us continue with this stomach infrastructure? So my question is that when I was growing up, you could not even throw money at people and they will pick.
Yes.
They will call you a ritualist. Yes. Nobody will say, "Oh, make it look if any come." Baba, I didn't grow up seeing that. And then all of a sudden, this particular governor that has been mentioned severally and several times just became governor in EKITI State, and we started seeing this all made you look if any come, throwing money at people, and then the introduction of these Okada guys and all of that. So, but how did we get here for the people who were not like that, who had not witnessed such before, and then all of a sudden this man brought this new ideology, whether wrong or right, into Nigerian political system, and then it appears to be working.
Thank you very much.
Now, before you go, sir, let me back Dimiji. It was just yesterday night online. I see some political parties in EKITI throwing bread, 350 naira worth of bread to the populace, and they were rushing at it as if they have not eaten anything since 3 days. I'm just backing you.
Thank you very much. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And when you have leadership that the mind is covered with thick cloud of darkness, when you discuss development, if his mind is blank to development, you see all manner of things replace that, so that if your mind is not attuned to holistic development, there's nothing people will look at. So you need something in replacement for that. So if you are not cut out for genuine development that can outlast you, because good things, they don't come easy, you need to replace it with something that people will see. So you replace it with smart infrastructure. People can at least key into that. It's a very terrible thing.
But then that damage has been done. It's difficult to. If you now come, not just in that state or anywhere, you come with human capital development. It's difficult to believe you.
I'm going somewhere. In America, we used to believe that their democracy is a shining example to the entire world, right? That you can't have a president that will be doing what Donald Trump is doing.
But he's doing it now,
Yes.
and he's getting away with it.
Now, that society is educated enough when it comes to democracy, right? But look at what Barack Obama did with the inauguration of his Obama Center. Look at the speech he delivered. That speech was to bring about the underlying ideology behind American democracy and why people must look at America from different prism other than what Trump is doing.
Because even when you listen to Trump, it sounds ordinary. It does not sound presidential.
Yes. But now look at it. This man talking here was a former president of America. This is the standard. So Obama lit the mind of the people with that kind of sterling performance. Look at the speech from his wife too.
Yeah.
So that's leadership. Okay. Now coming to Nigeria, you understand, when we begin to drift away from the path of glory that promotes value, there were no leaders who could come up and begin to speak glowingly like Obama to change us. Then, when that was happening, all manners of people that have money, they now begin to make their incursion into our political space. They share no ideology of development. They have no grip of what democracy is, and they don't even understand where we are going from here to the future. They did not even participate in the process that led to the enthronement of democracy. But because they have money, and we have a process that will make world chairman, local government chairman, state chairman of political party, whose only aim is to, get a kind of peck of office and begin to advertisement. I'm chairman of this and this and that. You understand? So you have all manners of these people infiltrate our political process. So it is now easier for somebody who has not done politics in his life, who has not even get committed to anything in his life.
Who does not even understand the first thing about development?
Yes. To
or
come,
governance.
Yes, and say I want to be. How on earth will somebody become a governor or president? He has not even done anything about public policy management, public administration, public budget, public finance. They don't even have all these concepts. They don't even know how budget works through.
And that's why somebody like that will come on TV in a Christian and say, "Sherry pen abo me mo fi start budget yin."
I'm driving your bullion van.
So that level of pedestrian discussion must not occur at that level of leadership.
Yes.
So when the mind is blank, you must, as a leader, get something to replace that kind of.
Now, since there was no replacement, and there appears to still be no replacement. Now, think about young people who were growing up at that time. Unlike somebody like me, who saw something different. Now, for those young people at the time, that's what they saw.
Yes.
Now they are now adults. Look at the damage that's been done to their psyche. Now, my question is, how do we get back from this?
Okay, we'll get back from it.
How?
Yes, thank you very much. I have answer to that. You are even looking at that alone. You don't even look at the damage food buying has done to the psyche of our people. In the last maybe 16 years, or let's say 12 years concurrently, when food buying has been institutionalized. Just imagine. I will tell you a story here today. My boy,
Your son?
Yes, my son. There was a day, the school bus brought them from home. I was at the sitting room in the evening. I just called out of them. It was on a Friday. Then there was this advert done by a National Rating Agency, Change Begin With You, where a motorist, a commercial motorist, driver, will offer a policeman bribe. The policeman will now do like this. You understand? Yes. Trying to let you know that this is bad. And my son, it was a kind of outburst. He said, "Daddy, this is a lie. They still collect money today. I saw them when the school bus was bringing me home." Now, what I'm trying to say here is that more than graphics, more than rhetoric,
beyond the message,
yes, what we do on daily basis speak to our survivor or otherwise in our country. When we go to election and we begin to bring people together, all these children, young guys, teenagers, they'll be looking at us. You vote, you write your name. At the end of the vote, they bring out money. They begin to share.
And
They are looking at it.
That's the best way to become a leader.
That's it. So all of this coming together will go back to our classrooms and begin to destroy the essence of education. That's why you now see young people, they say school na scam.
Yes, yes.
When merit has been completely relegated, it even I'll give another example. I have, when my daughter wants to secure admission, you know, I've taken her through some process like that. Look, you can become anything, you can get to anywhere if you choose merit as your driving force. So merit is all of it. So she wrote her exam and, as you know, she did fairly well. Most of these things they are private to me. I don't bring them to public place. So she was supposed to come on merit by scores and what she did in her post-UTME exam. I'll tell you all of this off air. But when the list of admitted students were published, her name was not on the merit list. And the first thing she told me, she said, Daddy, but you said merit is all about, like, look at these people. This one got a so-so number in her jam. This was got so-so number in her jam and post-UTME. Look, he didn't even come close at all. Why is it that these two persons were chosen and I was not picked?
Where is the merit?
I said no. It could be because you are not from the catchment area. And I know that when doing admission, really Ondo State is not on catchment area of that university.
No, they don't use encashment area for merit.
I'm coming. I am coming. I will explain to you. I got to know that later. I said maybe you don't fall into this catchment region. That thank God I was able to, through one person in the I sent message to the VC and the rest is history now. She got the admission. Okay. And everything I built in that lady would have destroyed just by streak of that one event. What I'm trying to say is that values are created based on a number of things that we do on daily basis. In classrooms, when I was growing up, I spoke ill of my teacher one day while we were coming. Unknowingly, they brought me out of the assembly that morning.
Repeat.
They flogged me as if I'm going to die. And I was, punished severely. Statement that if any student daughter it now, they won't punish him in the school. In our classroom, some of my colleagues that we left secondary school together will be listening to me now. A teacher came to our class and she said that then they nearly converted DSS to State Security Services. We were about writing our exam. And she now said that all of you, by the kind of salary we are paid now, if you go out and begin to work, you'll not even be able to afford to buy Mercedes Benz, then padded people. I said, me, I will buy. When I go out, I will buy this vehicle. For saying that I will buy, they tell me to be that I'm too ambitious. They brought me out of they flogged me for saying that. Now I could. What I'm trying to say here is how both home and classrooms, how they hold this value, tenaciously to the extent that you must conform. Do you have that type of a thing in our public school? Public school that if you go to today, you see one good school here. Somebody's son attends one private school in Ondo State that is very good. When you are going to that private school, you pass through public secondary primary school just by this left. That is just like a pigsty. It's just like a pigsty. Then you drive all these students in Porsche cars to this private school. While they are going, they look at their colleague, they attend this pigsty of a primary school. Look at what they just show you now. You understand? So all this imbalance. Can we do deliberate policy on our education, change it in line with current global changes? Then can we fine-tune our classrooms and make sure that contractors who build classrooms, they don't build like this? Look at your back. Just look at that. You understand? And make sure that the kind of classrooms we build You understand? They can speak to the modern society that we live now.
The curriculum as well.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying.
The
I'll make sure that
curriculum
the contractor that build this school, they are not the one they will give it to, that they want to do tiles of that classroom. They use one bag of cement to, do the tiles. In 6 months, the whole thing, Otimashi. And if you look at the concrete they do, yeah, you will get there, you will be sorry for yourself and say, do people come here to pass these jobs? So many things in our society. Yes, we need to change.
And that's why I think civics has been reintroduced. I think history as well. Some of these things, I think it will help, because at some point there was nothing like civics, there was nothing like history in our curriculum. And I think for somebody like me, when we were in school, this was some of the, this was how we
I was
learned.
talking about Mr. Dimeji. Just look at it.
Yeah, this was how we learned about.
An election is held there, and we are looking at that structure. That's a public school.
Yeah, this was how we learned about the history of Nigeria, the culture of our people, and all of that. But then, even that school that you mentioned,
how can you produce great minds from this structure?
There are even places where students will have to sit under a tree.
Yes.
As we've seen that on TV in Nigeria, where students had to sit under a tree, where there was no classroom for them to sit. So
if such a person becomes governor tomorrow or president, he will not see anything wrong if such a thing is happening.
He will even tell you Ajiyadunyelo now. That's what he will tell you in Yoruba. Now we suffered more than that. That if we went through that, why can't you do the same? And that's truly one of our problems in Nigeria. All right, we are still expecting calls from EKITI State, where our reporters are on the field monitoring the ongoing governorship election, as well as Ondo South, where the senatorial by-election is taking place. From 2:30, voting is expected to end, except in places where people join the queue before 2:30, and constitutionally they should be allowed to vote until vote counting before vote counting commences. Well, at 2:30, we'll be bringing this to an end, and then the people who take over in the afternoon will run it and see through until the end of until the result announced in both elections. Let me quickly tell you that, as you know, as is the tradition on Adaba FM, we will not be shutting down tonight at midnight. So that means we'll be on here until results in both elections announced. That is the EKITI State governorship election and the Ondo South senatorial by-election.
Ayọ̀lá Fátókun gbìyànjú láti pè wá, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n sọ pé yóò pé ní nẹ́tíwọ̀kì yẹn kò ṣe dáadáa. Ń gbìyànjú àti pè wá.
Nǹkan tí mo sọ, mo ní kó sọ Yorùbá pé a máa wà ní ẹ̀, mo sọ fún ẹ.
tó gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń láǹfààní láti gbọ́ wa ní àkókò yìí, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ètò ìdìbò bí ó sì ti ń lọ lọ́wọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ètò ìdìbò gómìnà títí aago bíi 2:30 báyìí, wọ́n mọ láǹfààní àti parí ètò ìdìbò ọ̀hún láti mọ gbìyànjú àti kà á. Ẹ sì mọ́ gbàgbé wípé títí tí ó fi di ọ̀la, òun náà ni a wà ní orí ètò. Iléeṣẹ́ yìí yóò mọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n fi kéde èsì ìdìbò gómìnà àti ti ọmọlẹ́gbìmọ̀ asòfin àgbà ilẹ̀ yìí, eléyìí tó ń wáyé ní apá gúúsù ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Ẹ túbọ̀ mọ́ tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
$20 past 2.